Hey, what's poppin', everybody? Today is March 19th, 2022. Today is episode 29 of the Script Hackers podcast. It's your boy C through the script, and I'm here with none other than
Leo the hacker.
yes, sir, man. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. Another Saturn day.
Yes, sir. Been an interesting week. Obviously, still a lot of talk between Russia and Ukraine. That's definitely
hmm
still the big center focus. But other than that, we still striving through. And what's up,
Absolutely.
everybody in the chat? It's good to see everybody here early. Discerning King, the real CJ, Solidify. I like that. I like that. Solidify. Dana C. What's up, everybody? Daria, Jared. It's good to see everybody. Oh,
Absolutely.
definitely, man, definitely, and hopefully you guys are digging the background. A little bit of a different drip this time. We got Italy. This is Italy
Yes,
for you guys.
sir.
So we going on vacay to Italy throughout this live. We got some interesting topics. My bad. Were you gonna say something, bro?
No, I was just gonna say, go to Italy, take down these Jesuits, man.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Just
You got to
bomb
go
rush
where they
the
at.
Vatican.
That's what it is, man. And lucky for those sick fucks, they're surrounded by beautiful scenery. So we just have to observe from the
Yeah,
outside.
unfortunately.
Definitely, definitely. But you got some interesting things to cover, and then I got a whole bunch of things to go over. So I think you're gonna start first.
Yes,
I'll let you
sir.
introduce your topic and all that.
Yeah. So of course, one of the breaking news that I don't know if this story actually broke today or yesterday, but John, it looks like it broke late yesterday, but John Clayton, a former sports analyst, is dead at the age of 67. He mostly was centered around the NFL. So he died yesterday on March
Did,
18th. And let me
did
actually share my screen.
perfect. Yeah, I was just about to say.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's see.
home of the Jesuits. Definitely, definitely. Pasta, pasta. Facts. Let's get that pasta. We were just talking about it. We're like, yo, if I was to go to Italy, man, I can't lie. I'd be excited for the food.
Oh,
That's a
hell
fact.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So again, John Clayton, longtime NFL reporter and radio host, dies at 67. So John Clayton, whose list of contacts in the NFL was matched only by his attention to detail and dedication to his craft, died Friday in Washington after a brief illness. His family said he was 67 years old. Clayton, nicknamed the Professor, was one of the country's foremost NFL insiders in a 5 decade career that included over 20 years with ESPN. So, again, no specific cause of death. They're just saying he suffered a brief illness and just drops dead at the age of 67.
Mm-hmm.
That article was just from ESPN. CNN writes the same thing. Longtime NFL reporter John Clayton, known as the Professor, has died at age 67. And I don't think CNN wrote a cause of death neither. Because a lot of the times, what these news articles do is they just piggyback off of the next article.
Yeah, yeah,
And they don't
exactly.
really add any new details.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some sort of agreements behind the scenes that we're not aware of certain news outlets get to, exclusively drop the news and then others
Right.
have to wait. So
That,
that's
that's
definitely a
exactly
thing.
that's
So
exactly what it looks like too, man. So I do catch a few things that stand out with his death. Probably a huge Jesuit ritual, no doubt about that. But he died yesterday, March 18th, 2022, on the 18th day of the month. And yesterday also had 18 date numerology as well. So
hmm
it's obvious that the number 18 is popping up quite often in this story. And what's interesting is he was a sports analyst for ESPN in the most pure cipher. ESPN sums to 18, and recall his nickname, the Professor. The Professor sums to 61 in Gematria. 61 is the 18th prime number. So, again, dead on the 18th day of the month on an 18 date numerology, ESPN 18, and his nickname, the Professor, 61, the 18th prime. Yesterday also had 27 date numerology. Of course, 27, we know that's connected with ritual. Ritual in the most pure cipher, 27. In this case, his last name, Clayton, in the most pure cipher 27 as well, just like Ritual, and he's dead on the 27 date numerology, so perfect. Um, Another thing with the date numerology, yesterday also had 43 date numerology. Of course, we know how 43 is connected to killing, killing in gematria, 43, RIP, 43 as well, and
hmm
in this case, football. 43. Because again, he was a sports analyst, but it seems like he only focused on the sport of football. So football 43 as well.
Hmm.
Um, what else? Another thing, see how Kill sums to 64? Here's why I'm pointing that out. So if you look at his birthday, let me make sure they didn't change it. But as of right now, it's May 11th. And if you just measure that, May 11th, his last birthday was 2021. Just look at the days. He died 311 days after his birthday. 311 is the 64th prime number. And again, in Gematria, the word kill sums to 64. And you can also just look at the weeks. That's 44 weeks. And again, kill also 44 in Gematria. And another thing, the months and the days. If you look at the months and the days, that's 10 months and 7 days, like 107. We know that ritual
Yeah.
sacrifice.
Oh man. Yeah, they gave him the perfect sacrifice numbers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Ritual sacrifice 107. So again, if you look at the weeks, the months and the days, or even just the days alone, I mean, it's very obvious that his death is it's not an accident, you know.
And oh, sorry, I don't know if you were going to get to it, but his age of death.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
most definitely. Yeah.
got it.
Here, since you brought that up, yeah, dead at 67, human sacrifice 67, and blood sacrifice 67 in the same
Hmm.
cipher, right? Yeah.
Hmm. The amount of times we've actually started lives with death decodes that have actually had the 67 involved,
Yeah,
whether
it's
they
it's
died
either
at
the
67
67
or
or the 86 that pop
yeah,
up. It's
exactly.
either one of those two. Yeah, 67 or 86. I want to say 86 pops up more than 67 does. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, yeah, I guess 86 is definitely like that. Don't get 86, and I mean, yeah,
It's a
I
much
I
bigger
guess
number.
yeah, I'll say that for now. I feel like I've seen it quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah. Um.
Both important to say the least. But yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, another thing. Speaking of his age of death, with him dying at 67, that means he was born in 1954. Emphasis on 54. We know that's a huge number with the Jesuit order.
Definitely.
So, oops. Okay. Jesuit order 54 in the most pure cipher. Um, ESPN 54 as well. So again, he's born
And
in the year
18.
54 and 18. Yeah, exactly. But you know what else is interesting with his age of death being 67? When you write out 67, if I
Hmm.
spell it correctly, when you write out 67 in letters, it
Hmm.
also sums to 54 in Gematria.
Perfect.
So born in the year 54. And here's another thing. If you look at his upcoming birthday, May 11th, 2022, just look at the
Hmm.
days. He died 54 days before his upcoming birthday. So he's born in the year 54. He's dead 54 days before his birthday. ESPN in Gematria sums to 54.
Hmm.
Jesuit order sums to 54, and his age of death was 67, which also sums to 54 as well. And for one more 54, he's dead on a Friday. Friday is named after Venus. Venus 54 as well.
And 18.
And 18,
And
exactly.
27 actually. Huh.
Yeah,
Damn
exactly.
near
It's
qualifies
perfect.
or
It's
falls in
perfect,
line with the whole thing. Yeah, the whole date numerology.
Yeah, exactly. So again, it's very hard for someone to just come here and say all that is just a coincidence. Highly unlikely.
Yeah, I always just, think back to when I first came up on this information.
Hmm.
I could have just simply ran to the comments and been like, I don't get this. This doesn't make sense. It feels like it's arbitrary. It feels like you're making it connect, right? But I didn't do that. Instead, I actually like just continued to watch and eventually ended up buying Zach's book. My point being is, if you want to learn something or figure it out, you will figure it out. You
Absolutely.
won't just be asking questions. You'll be looking for the answers to the questions rather than just
Exactly.
asking them.
Exactly, man. And
Yeah.
just this, what's funny about his death coming right now is that, the NFL season just wrapped up. The 102nd NFL season, Super Bowl 56 just wrapped up.
John
And
Madden just died too.
yeah,
I'm actually about to check the time span of that, but
yeah.
carry on.
The Super Bowl, it wrapped up on February 13th, 2022. And you'll notice that he died a span of 34 days later. So he died a span of 34 days after the Super Bowl. And of course, we know murder sums to 34, murder 34 in Gematria. And the Super Bowl was won by Los Angeles Rams. And when you write out the team's name, Los Angeles Rams, it sums to 160 in the most simple cipher, right? And
Mhm.
his nickname was the Professor, also sums to 160. And his full name is John Clayton, which also sums to 160. You see what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there's no way that that's a coincidence. He's dead right after Los Angeles Rams win the Super Bowl. Los Angeles Rams sums to
Interesting.
160. His name is John Clayton, which sums to 160. His
No way.
nickname is the Professor, which sums to 160 as well. So
No, that's a good
I
catch. That's
highly
definitely.
doubt that's a coincidence.
I like that. Yeah, no, that's a good connection right there. And I just quickly looked into it, and John Madden, obviously another big influential speaker around the sport football, and
Hmm.
he died a span or hit from his death to John Clayton's death. So that's December 28th
Hmm.
to March 18th is a span of 81 days, including end date. And
Mm,
I just thought that was interesting because Venus was 81, and then it's 81, the reflection of
ritual,
18.
yeah.
But yeah, also ritual 81. And then, yeah, again, it's the reflection of 18. John died on the 18th day of the
Hmm.
month. So
Hmm.
18th
hmm
day numerology. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's
it's very obvious his death is not an accident at this point.
no, no,
Right.
definitely not. Oh,
And
my bad.
just one more is John
My bad.
Clayton.
You got to
No,
switch
all
the
good.
screen back. I took the
Oh
screen
shit.
over from you.
Oh, okay,
My
okay,
bad.
okay. No, it's all good. Okay, there we go.
Cool.
Another thing, John Clayton, his name sums to 47 in the most pure cipher. Of course, 47 is a huge number
Mm.
in the practice of
Oh,
gematria. But
wait a second. His name is 47?
yeah, John Clayton, 47
Dog.
in the most pure.
Dog. John Madden equals 47 in
Really,
reversible reduction.
really. Okay,
Yeah. And they're dead 81 days apart. Oh, yeah. Come on. Pure ritual talk right there.
John Madden. Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
43 too. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, I don't want to bounce to too many numbers. The
Well, what I was just
47s
gonna
are
say
interesting.
is the upcoming Super Bowl, as of right now, here, let me see. Super Bowl 57, right? At the moment, it's scheduled to be played on February 12th of 2023,
Interesting.
and that is 47 weeks from or I'm sorry, for 47 weeks after his death.
Wow. Wow.
And
Perfect.
John Clayton 47. So
Yeah.
it's very obvious that his death was synced up with the past Super Bowl that just wrapped up, Super Bowl 56, and the upcoming Super Bowl, because he's dead 47 weeks before the upcoming Super Bowl. His name John Clayton 47 in gematria. I mean, the 47 list is huge, but it's just very obvious at this point.
Yeah, and I mean that would only make sense. Granted, they stated he was a longtime reporter, right? So he
Hmm.
had a lot of value to
Hmm.
the league and what he brought. Um, he's a sports writer, is what they say.
Yeah,
Sports
yeah, sports
journalist.
writer, sports
Yeah,
journalist, yeah, sports
got it, got it.
reporter, yeah, yeah,
So I mean, these guys are very much involved in the narratives of sports that, well, specifically football, that people drain their energy watching. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
The people like him are definitely involved with the script writing. I could only imagine
You
in
know,
some
you
way,
know
shape, or
what's
form.
funny? If you read here from his Wikipedia page, John Travis Clayton was an American sports journalist who was an NFL writer. So what was
Yeah,
he writing? The
ex-
script?
exactly. That's very vague, and it's just like, yeah, what are we?
Writer and reporter. They didn't say what he was writing.
Yeah, it's all very interesting. I remember actually seeing this TikTok or sorry, Instagram reel of this sports broadcaster for a football league, football being soccer actually in the UK, and he showed, like, he didn't really show his notes, but he kind of just showed like a day in his life going to work
Uh
as a
huh.
sports broadcaster,
Uh huh.
and he had like a bunch of notes, and again, at no point did he ever like really show you what's on the notes, but I could only imagine, these guys are aware of the core, like, what is it, choreography of
Right.
how they're sort of structuring the game from practices. They're told, how it's going to play out. And then from there, these guys, do their job. And that's where you get
You
that
know,
phrase, you couldn't have scripted it any better.
You know what's funny, script? Even if you read here from the Wikipedia page, it says he was a senior writer for ESPN. He was also a senior writer for ESPN.com. So, like, if some people might come on here and say, "Oh, you guys are just reaching," he was just a writer for ESPN.com. Well, no, because they used the word writer twice. One was he was just a writer for ESPN, not ESPN.com, just ESPN, period. And then it says he was also a senior writer for ESPN.com. So it seems like he was a writer in two different occasions. So,
Definitely, yeah. Doing the articles, probably discussing injuries or just any sort of events around the league. Um, yeah, yeah, that's what I can imagine. I'm not too familiar, but I mean, again, they have these guys playing certain roles, and they have these people, positioned perfectly to
well, yeah, I think the
fulfill
point
their
is that they,
agenda.
they just made it very vague to where it's like they leave they leave room for suspicion for those with the minds to
Yeah, for those who actually wonder and
right,
are
right.
curious.
Yeah,
Interesting.
but yeah, man, that was it. Rest in peace to John Clayton, 67. At least he really made it to. If he's even dead, I mean, I don't know. If these guys are even faking their death or what, but
And
at
this
least he
story broke
made it to
today.
67. Well, um,
No, I think it
no,
broke
it
the
seems
day
like it
before.
broke. It broke yesterday. Yeah,
Interesting.
it's funny though, because like here, let me see. If you go to CNN, yeah, well, it says they
This is
updated it today, but yeah, it seems like majority of the news articles is from like CNN is like 14 hours ago, 16 hours ago, 20 hours ago. So I want to say late last night is when the news broke.
well. Someone else brought it up in the chat, and also we were discussing it last stream how today actually is the kill date. So
Oh shit! Is
yeah,
it?
I'm pretty sure from what I remember here. Yeah, today is the kill date 64, 44, 28,
Oh
17
wow!
largely,
Yeah, you're
and
right.
it's March 19th, 19/3, like 193, the 44th prime. So,
Wow.
and it's a Saturday. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear shootings and we hear about it tomorrow.
Yeah,
Some
that's
interesting news
well.
popping off
I
today.
definitely overlooked that. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's going to be interesting for sure. Hopefully not. I mean, we don't want these things to happen, but again, pointing out patterns that seem to just follow through quite well.
I
And
mean, if you go to CNN, it's just like all they're talking about is just the whole Russia Ukraine shit. So
yeah, you know what? I was talking to a friend the other day, and he's like, "Man, if you go on CNN's website, you would think the world's ending every day." And I was like, "Yeah, that's facts. That's a good way
yeah.
to put it. It's just so chaotic. There's so much happening. They're just trying to pull you in. A lot of these headlines are really like dark too. Sometimes they'll say shit like the prices of gas are rising, and here's why they won't stop rising. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's like it's like someone reads just that most likely, and they're just like, man, this sucks. Like, you know, when's
Right.
this ever gonna get better? Like,
Right.
this is all it is, just madness,
Low
madness.
vibrational energy. That's what it is.
Yes, yes, exactly. And I'm just scrolling through the chat, trying to see. Someone asked something that I thought was funny. Uh, oh yeah, Chief, what's up, man? My man out in Australia. He said, "Did you see Pete Davidson get Kim tattooed on his body?" Do you know Pete Davidson?
Yeah,
You know what's
I know who
happening
he
there?
is. Yeah, I mean, I don't really.
I don't know what's happening, but I mean,
Yeah,
I've heard through the grapevine, a
exactly.
little bit of drama. Honestly, man, I don't
Same
really
here.
have too much on it, but yeah, he definitely got branded. It seems,
So the story is that he got a tattoo of Kim. Is that what it is?
well, no, like not to go too deep at all, because I personally don't really care, but basically,
Yeah, neither do I. I'm
Kanye
just
got
curious.
his girl swiped by Pete Davidson, and then they're doing some disrespectful humiliation rituals. Kim being at the head of the sorcery and watching
Yeah,
two
I
men
heard. I
fight for
heard.
her
Them
love.
two were arguing. I mean,
It's all just perfect distraction to keep
it
people
is.
not
It's so
focused
obvious.
on
Like, who gives a
Pfizer's
fuck?
nine
I mean, who
pages.
gives a fuck what Pete Davidson is doing? Who gives a fuck? Why do people care? I mean, like, have people never seen a breakup in their life? This shit happens
Wait.
trillions of times every day.
Apparently, he actually got branded. My man Chief says. Uh, that's pretty crazy. I heard it was a tattoo. But either way, I mean, it's the same thing in a way. I mean,
I mean,
tattoo,
goddamn, that's
branding,
probably
it's
even
permanent.
worse though, because like, at least with a tattoo, you could get a laser removal. I don't know how.
I don't know what's up with the branding. Yeah,
I don't know how you would remove that. I mean, that's like permanent scars.
that's definitely a weird situation right
I
there.
don't know.
But yeah, look at CNN's page right now, and like, it just seems like pure chaos. And I mean, There's some people out there that take this, unfortunately, not with a grain of salt. They take it for everything, and that will definitely damage them. But yeah, I got some stuff that I wanted to show you guys.
Please.
So let me pull up some stuff. We got some interesting
While we
stories.
look at the Roman Colosseum,
Yeah, yeah, the thing that where it all started, all the distractions started.
and being
Okay,
set on
so here,
fire.
let's start with this story here. This is a story that I caught earlier. So jumping off the back of the number 81, we have the story of Saudi Arabia executing 81 men in one day, the biggest mass execution in decades. So this one just caught my eyes because, I mean, something like this you don't see often, obviously, as it kind of says in the headline. And uh, right away, it made me think of the ritual code, sinful code, and sinful because these men don't have the right to take the life of another man and take away that liberty from them. Whether this is a true story or not, the energy that they're putting out and the exertion of power that they're claiming they have is wrong. But anyways, ritual and sinful, both 81. Again, 81 men killed in one day. And you know what? I guess you could say, Neo, when you were asking which number pops up more, 86 or 67. I guess you're gonna say, I guess
I,
86. You're
I
right.
figured I figured it'd be 86. Yeah.
So look at this. The king of Saudi Arabia is currently 86 years old at the time of this mass execution. And Saudi Arabia equals 86. And as we discussed, human sacrifice, blood sacrifice, both equal 86. And I mean, hey, that's a pretty big sacrifice if you're talking 81 people. You know what I mean?
If it even happened.
If it happened, of course. And now it goes on to say, from the Prince of Saudi Arabia's 36th birthday to the execution, that's August 31st, 2021 to March 12th, 2022, is a span of 193 days. And again, we discussed 193, the 44th prime, execution and kill both equal 44. It was literally an execution. So on the money, by the numbers, connected to Saudi Arabia's prince, we have the execution code applied. Then you, of course, always are going to have Jesuit fingerprints, especially when you hear a story like biggest in decades and a lot of death. They're always going to be crawling. And you know what, Neo? Again, the 86 is not failing right now. From
Hmm.
Pope Francis's 85th birthday to the execution in Saudi Arabia, that's December 17th, 21 to March 12th, 22, is a span of 86 days. Human sacrifice, blood sacrifice, right? Both 86. Now, to further solidify that this was undoubtedly a sacrifice, real or not, this is the energy that they're exerting, the narrative, the story. It's sacrifice based. Why? Because now you have the Black Pope, Arturo Sosa, from his 73rd birthday to the execution. That's November 12th to March 12th, is a span of 121 days. Blood
Hmm.
sacrifice, English ordinal, equals 121. Like, I mean, they're not missing right now with the sacrifice code here. And worth noting, Salman, became the king of Saudi Arabia on January 23rd of 2015. That's a date written 1/23. Now on March 12th of 2022, a date that can be written 12/3, like 123, kind of like the day he became the king. You see the largest mass execution occur in decades. Damn near trying to make these guys extinct.
Yeah.
God damn,
Exactly. Exactly.
fucking going for the whole bloodline.
Hmm.
Now, some other interesting findings was the phrase 81 men, because that's what they list in the headline, equals 4158. And that caught my attention, especially the 41. Saudi Arabia equals 41, and it also equals 85, the reflection of each other. And the execution occurred on a Saturday, named after the Roman slash Greek god Saturn slash Kronos, as we were well aware now. By no coincidence, sacrifice and execution, both of those phrase or words equal 46. And again, I've discussed this slide before, but this is an excerpt from Jane Sacchetti, where she goes on to point out how Saturn is the god of limitation and death. associated with the poisonous nature of lead. So, I mean, what better day to commit such ritual than the day that's in representation of the god of death, right?
Exactly.
So that's that story. Shit, man, look at this scenery, because we need some nice scenery after what we just heard, man. 81 men. Goddamn. Yeah, mass extinction, right? I know. So, honestly, I don't know. The extinction and execution. Goddamn. The words were getting, I was getting tongue tied there. Um, but yeah, I got it. Okay, so here's another story though. That's also interesting. You know what? This other story that I'm going to show kind of has similar numbers in a way to start off, and
Mhm.
similar to the story that you were talking about, the 81 type sequence going on, the 81-18 type thing.
Mhm.
This is a pretty wild story. uh, this story comes from Florida, and it goes on to say Disney employees and former judge among 108 arrested in human trafficking sting. And the first thing that I thought of when I was like, Disney employees, huh? And I just, I looked up a picture of Disney and it said Walt Disney Pictures. And I was like, what does that equal? And I was like, 108, how convenient, in light of the fact that it's Disney employees and, 108 arrested, not
Right.
just Disney employees, but a former judge. Now, during their operation, which they called Operation March Sadness 2, detectives found prostitutes who had posted online advertisements through various websites and social media platforms to identify people who were seeking them out. They also identified adults who they thought were inappropriately communicating with children. And notice Operation March Sadness 2 equals 90, like March Sadness, March Madness, like come on. But Operation March Sadness 2 equals 95, like 108 being the 108 arrested. So, again, just perfectly coded story here. Whenever I see a number like this, or just the way, like, when gematria, you got to look into these stories. It's like, what? 100? Okay, so then I started thinking more, and here's a little theory. Now I'm going to like speculate a little bit. This is just
Mhm.
theory. Well, sorry, let me show you this, and then I got a little theory after. The police released the news of this human trafficking sting on March 16th, which is the 75th day of the year. And Walt Ilias Disney, I'm probably pronouncing his middle name wrong, equals 75 in full reduction. And again, it's just fitting because, again, we're talking about Disney employees, 108 of
Oh
them
yeah,
being
that's not
found
an
on that day.
accident.
Not at all. And we obviously know that Walt Disney is a Freemason. His name also equals 201. And Disney World is on the exit 201. Thank you, Discerning King. I didn't know that. So that's definitely interesting. So here's my theory, guys. Here's what I got. Let me know what you guys think. You could say it's a reach. You could say it's interesting. Let me know. Well, so we know that the Disney logo has the 666 going on. I
Mhm.
think we well aware of that. And I've heard funky stuff about sex trafficking before this story happening uh, around Disney and surrounding Disney. And they've here, I'll just read what I wrote. I wouldn't be surprised in the Disney facilities that they've been a hub for human and slash sex trafficking for years. Hence, all the wicked hidden messages throughout their films and TV shows. You know what I mean? Like they've had a lot of interesting symbolism of you've seen in like I forget. I didn't really watch Disney films, but I've seen all those
Well,
like
there's
in the
plenty.
clouds.
There's
Yeah,
plenty.
like the word sex is written, and like there's just a
Mhm.
lot of
Mhm.
dirty jokes and etc. So we know these guys are pure sickos to say the least. But anyways, Disney, they actually call their employees cast members. And what's interesting is in the 1630s, like when you would say the word cast, and even till now, you would think of a group of actors in a play. And here's my theory. Honestly, this is my theory. Disney employees are referred to as cast members, and I propose that the people are not the real criminals, rather scapegoats, actors in this fictional story, covering the actual crooks participating and conducting the actual human slash sex trafficking. So I'm not saying that the human sex trafficking isn't happening. But I'm saying that I don't really know if these people are actually behind it, or rather, these are just all fake people or real people who already have bad records and are being used to,
Well,
bring justice to the people by saying, "Hey, we captured them."
here,
This stuff's not going to stop.
that article. Go back to that article. This what is it? 108 arrested in human trafficking. These are Disney employees.
And a former judge.
Like,
Yeah,
if you look at their mugshots, do they even look like that they would be employed by
these guys look like
Disney?
they all work in like the back, bro. Like I would not want. No offense, but some of these dudes look kind of sketch. Like imagine like
I
these
mean, it
dudes are
doesn't
just.
say like what their occupation was, right?
We don't know. We don't know. They could be office people. I really don't know.
Nah, hell no, they ain't no
But
office people, man.
but yeah, exact casting spells, magic, cast members broadcasting their films, a group of players in an act. It's just this something doesn't seem right about this story, and especially the fact that like it happened on the 75th day or the day they released the news on the 75th day of the year in light of Walt Disney, his name equaling 75, his full name equals 201 too.
They probably just like, I don't know, do props or like set up props or some.
The
It's very hard
backstage
for me
crew.
to believe that they actually worked for Disney. I mean, this is like a
So that's my little theory, though. I like, just to keep it short, but also this is just something I just looked at. From Walt Disney's birth to this story's release, I know it's kind of random. Is a span of. Wait a second, did I get something wrong here? Let me double check something. No, okay, sorry, I was tripping out on the last date. I was thinking of another story. Boom. From his birthday, the day he was born, December 5th, 1901, to this story, 120 years and 102 days. Satanism and magic, notice in reverse order on a 120 and 102. And we know Disney is all about the kingdom of magic. That's definitely a thing. And I mean, it's undoubtable that again, there's forms of some people say white magic or black magic, and I mean the way they
there
use magic,
definitely is a form of magic, man.
dark
I
magic,
think
Satan type magic, Satanism to say the least. So that's my little theory, though. I just I think that there's more to this type of story, and I think they just throw these stories out to give people like a sense of justice when in reality I don't think the justice is actually going to be served. And I think they do these stories just for a different sort of purpose.
yeah.
Anyways, let's see what else I got here. And another story that caught my radar was the Pusha T and No Malice death of their father.
Oh wow, their mother just died, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yes. And I think we talked about that a couple
Yeah,
streams
she
ago. That
died on the
was
same
this.
day as Kanye West's mother, Donda West.
Boom. You got it. You got it. There it is. So check this out. Clip's father. So Clips being these two gentlemen here. Their previous group name.
Duo.
Yeah, the duo, pretty good group. They did have some. I did fuck with some of their
Yeah,
music.
not
I
too
can't
bad.
lie. But anyways, died on the 73rd day of the year, and I mean, again, we know that's suspicious if you follow the numbers. 73 in line with the ritual sacrifice and sacrifice code. And from Clip's mom dying to what we just discussed to the death of their father dying is a span of 124 days. So that's November 10th, the same day that Kanye's mom died. And why that's relevant is because Pusha T is the CEO of Kanye's label that he initially founded, Good Music. So very tight connection between the two. And again, November 10th, when Pusha T's mom died, to March 14th, the day that his father died, 124 days. Their last name, Thornton, equals 124.
Did they say what the cause of death was?
No, I didn't see it. Um, but what I did see, uh, dad equals 9 and 72, and they're losing their dad on a Monday. And notice that we have the reflections of 72, 27, and 9 and 90 with the rules of numerology. That leaves us with 9 on the 90. And the brothers announced the loss of their father on Monday, 4 months after their mother's death, Mildred Thornton. And 4 is associated with death in the Chinese language. Think about the words like dead, died, and tomb, all 4-letter words relating to death. I say this to point out
I
clips
mean,
died
how many times
4
have we
months apart.
said, "Oh god,
You know
it's
what I
just
mean?
like
I do feel pretty
so
repetitive.
fucking frustrating."
Truthfully, I
It
do.
is repetitive, but that's because I mean, the only reason why we're repetitive is because we're just exposing what they're doing. They're the ones who are repetitive. You know what I mean? Because how many times have we said, "Oh, guys, the number 4 is associated with death," and now 4 months after their mother died, now their father's dead.
Exactly.
It blows my mind how people can come here and say this is just a coincidence. How can it be a coincidence day after day?
That's why I'm saying that's why, like, I think some people aren't truly following along, that and they comment things like, I don't know, this one's a reach. I'm like, dog, you commented on the last one, you said you agreed with this, and then the next one you say you don't agree with it, but it's the same pattern. So I don't like, you're not following along enough to see the consistency. uh I don't really know what else. That's what I think it is. You're not following enough to see the consistency, because the ones who are here and see this, and track this stuff, whether it's on their own or with us consistently, they know we've discussed, just like you said, 4 and how they use it several times. But just to conclude the 4 aspect, 4 equals 4821, just like psi or say, if I'm saying it wrong, it is what it is. And that's 4 in Chinese. And from Pusha T's last album, Daytona, to his father's death, that's May 25th, 2018, to March 14th, 2022, is a span of 1,390 days. Like the number 139, 139, the 34th prime number, murder equals 34. Now, Clip's father died on March 14th. That's a date that can be written 14/3. And that's interesting because in English ordinal, the phrase Faustian bargain equals 143. And just to quickly repeat it for those who haven't heard it, Faustian bargain, a pact whereby a person trades something of supreme moral or spiritual importance, such as personal values or the soul, for some worldly or material benefit, such as knowledge, power, or riches. A Faustian bargain is made with a power that the bargainer recognizes as evil or immoral. So we know that these guys are involved in a very dark industry, and to sustain their careers, a sacrifice is definitely needed. And what's really interesting, guys, is, and Neos, this is what I was actually about to tell you before the stream, is I watched a movie the other day, and I'm gonna pull it up, the cover of it, because I was watching another video on BitChute, and someone in that video used the clip from this movie. And let me pull up the cover for you guys, because I was like, that's an interesting clip. So I watched the full movie, and it was pretty trash. I'm not gonna lie, but it had a very interesting scene, and a scene that just further solidifies what we're talking about right now. My bad though. Let me pull it up. Boom. Da, da, da. Click here, and there it is. Here it is. So you guys can see that.
Hmm.
Okay, so the film was titled American Satan, and it released in 2017. And it's pretty funny that I ended up watching this. I wish I watched
You
this a
can
little
tell this is a
earlier.
low budget film,
It is it was
huh?
on the streaming service Tubi. It's like a free streaming service, with like
Yeah.
ads and shit.
Yep.
So, but you know what, it reminded me of that film you showed me,
Right.
Blood Sacrifice, right? That's
Right.
what it's called.
Right. Yep. Blood sacrifice. Yeah.
So basically, the premise of this film was that this young group meets up to go to LA and fulfill their dreams in Hollywood as some rock stars, and they bump into this guy. Honestly, I'm gonna spoil it, guys. It's a shit movie. Like, honestly, if you want to watch it, go for it.
How long is it? Like an hour and a
It's
half?
pretty long. I can't
Oh,
lie.
really? It's
There's
longer than
really
an hour and a half, or
yeah,
does it just
sadly,
feel long?
sadly. No, it's an hour and 51 minutes.
Damn,
And
damn, 2 hours.
26 minutes in is where the heat is, man. That's where, like,
Really?
26 minutes to like 30 minutes is where
Okay.
what I was looking for is what I saw. But anyways,
Wait a
they
minute.
what's up?
Isn't that guy from Game of Thrones
Which guy?
the
I'm not
fat
good with
chubby guy
actors.
at the bottom
He's a British guy,
on
so
the bottom left? Yeah.
it
Isn't
is the
he?
guy from Game.
Hold
I've
on.
never
Let me
watched
see.
that show. I can't lie.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Don't worry. I don't know.
So
He just looks very familiar. But go ahead.
so take this in. So basically, these guys meet up with this guy, and he's like Lucifer in the film, and he's not really real, but they're like tripping out and think like he's popping up and like controlling their destiny. And he basically tells them like, "Hey, I can get you guys like fame, and I can like blow you guys up, but you're gonna have to do a ritual." And they're all sitting around a table, and then they're just like, "What do you mean by ritual?" And then he says, "Well, it's pretty simple. It's just going to be a human sacrifice." And they're just like, "What? Like, no, man, like this is messed up." And then he pulls out a dollar bill, and he's just like, "What do you see on this?" And then he's just like, "The pyramid with an eye." He's like, "What is that?" They're like, "Illuminati." And it's there. Then he goes
So it's
on to
like a
talk about,
cheesy. Okay.
it's one of the cheesy films, but they're saying the real shit. And the
Right,
kids
right.
go
But that's
on
how they
to,
have to disguise it, man. Like that's exactly what they did with the blood sacrifice. So
exactly,
this
dude.
might actually be a movie to actually invest time in.
Just I wouldn't say, look, I did it. I sacrificed my time for y'all, and truthfully 26 minutes is where the bulk of what it is. I mean, there's a few other gems. They do a couple of 666 riddles throughout the film. Like near the end, the guys start to realize like, man, like this is like kind of demonic and shit. Like even though like it's
So they actually
it's so
fulfill
stupid,
ritual
honestly.
like human sacrificing, huh?
They actually do human sacrifice. Yeah, they go
And
through
it's
with
for
it.
fame.
They, yeah, to go through with it for fame, and
So
that's the
okay,
moral of,
I,
or the
I
basis
mean,
of this story.
if they're, I just don't get how people think
And
like
oh,
this
sorry,
stuff is
last thing.
impossible.
If I remember, I think it's the main actor. This guy in the middle is actually part of a real band who like cross dresses and shit. And
Oh,
they,
so I
yeah,
gotta add that in there too, huh?
it's yeah, there's a lot of weird shit. It's a very dark, like, it's a lot of satanic imagery, obviously, with the title. But yeah, it was an interesting film. But anyways, again, obviously we're just bringing it up to point out that it's not us making up this whole sacrifice theme. It's Hollywood themselves
Hmm.
literally talking about a Faustian bargain to be famous in Hollywood. And for people to come here and deny this or deny other people who talk about this stuff, like, come on, like just look around you, man. It's all there. But let me show you guys something else. There's a couple other stories that I want to share with you guys. um, in the meantime, let's get back to Italy. Can't forget our vacation to Italy, y'all. All right. Give me 1 second here.
Man, this just looks the scenery just looks amazing, man. Back when look at all those small little huts before the cities and the
Yeah,
industries were built, you know?
yeah, definitely, man, definitely. The people that get to stay out there and live in those
Take
lands, I'm
care of
sure
their
they appreciate
land.
it.
They ain't gotta worry about going to work, taxes, they ain't gotta worry about any of that.
Yeah, I mean their work is on the farm, and yeah,
That's
keeping
it.
keeping a nice sustainable lifestyle.
That's what life is supposed to be about. Not paying taxes.
Well, unfortunately, the world that we're in, we're filled with drama, such as a story like this. R.I.P. to Young Thug's baby mother. Mother of his child was shot and killed after a bowling alley dispute. So this was the talk of the town the last couple days, and her name is Lakiva Jackson, and that equals 44 in full reduction, and shooting equals 44. And I mean, again, it's right in the headline: shot and killed. But take note of how they used shot and killed, like the not the word and, but the symbol. Um, by no coincidence, as when you write it like that in gematria, you get the value of 56, like bowling alley, where it happened, which equals 56. And we know who always ties themselves to that number 56, or who is it connected to the most, and it seems to be the Society of Jesus. And to further solidify the Jesuits' fingerprints numerically popping up, you can see that this occurred at the Metro Fun Center in Atlanta on Thursday night. Metro Fun Center, 177, 69, 201, 3 for 3 match with the Jesuit order. Yeah, Joseph, good point. Freemasons also equals 56. Freemasons, the plural. Yeah. Um, Now we're talking about Young Thug's baby mother. Mother equals 79, 34, 83. Murder the same thing, 3 for 3 match. I mean, I think they're spelling it out quite clear for us. His baby mother dead in a shooting, aka was murdered, right? Now, this happened on March 17th, 2022, prime numerology of 62, the day she died, Thursday night. Sacrifice equals 62. It happened on Thursday night, as I just stated, and sacrifice equals 46, just like Thursday equals 46. So it's piling up perfectly. And here's where it's pretty interesting. The 17 code is definitely applied here. And of course, you have Thug with his serpent shoes and the all seeing eye symbolism. But let me just guess, it's all art. Anyways, you
Yeah,
know,
that's what they'll say. It's just art, man. You guys are reaching.
it's like, dude, he's not the first to do it. It's like, yeah, that's our point. Other people do it. It's a pattern, it's a club, and you're not in it. Um,
Okay, if it's all art, how come you don't see this art outside of the mainstream?
yeah, I mean,
If it's
truthfully,
just art, you should see people walking around with one eye symbolism and serpents all
well,
over the
sadly,
place.
we do in a way, but from these guys.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
from the
It's
mainstream, is
from
what
them.
I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. It's not their own like creative idea, I guess you can say. Well, you can see here from the shooting to Young Thug's 31st birthday, that's March 17th to August 16th, 2022, is a span of 153 days. 153 being the 17 triangular number. Kill equals 17. Rap equals 17. Obviously, Thug involved in the rap industry, and now his baby mother was killed in a dispute at a bowling alley. Now, continuing on the 17 code, you got you got the sus young thug licking the serpent red blood shoe with the upside down cross. I mean, honestly, I mean, again, is it just art? Fuck, man. If you want to say it is, do what you got to do. But the date numerology of the day his baby mother, Lakeefa Jackson, died has numerology of 17 as well. And she also died again on the day leaving 289 days in the year. 289 is the square root of 17. So again, a lot of 17 popping up, and again, she died on the 17th day of March. So the number 17 seems to be running rampant, and it continues.
Herb, you see that? You see that cross on his
Yeah,
fingers?
yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, he has the cross upside down. He's licking the serpent blood red shoe. It's the proof's in the pudding for sure, for sure. And to just continue with the 17 again, 17 for those not aware is associated with kill, rap, and from his last rap album that was released on October 15th of 2021 titled Punk to the death of his baby mother is a span of 153 days. Again, that same number that pops up, and 153 to 17 triangular number. So again, the number 17 was running wild through that. Again, just like Pusha T and the rest, this is none other than a Faustian bargain, and it has to be done. And you've seen films, whether they're low budget, high budget, talking about the same narrative. Uh, this is what's happening, man. This is what's happening in this sick industry. This is what they're doing to these artists. They're giving them a lot, but also taking away things of spiritual or moral importance. So you have to deal with the battle of, do you want to have a lot of money and cars and be able to travel the world and have this clout at the expense of slowly but surely losing family and friends and people close to you. It's up to you to decide if that's something you'd want to do. But more than likely, most average people wouldn't even get the chance to decide to do that because you're not connected through family or, friend or some sort of nepotism that a lot of these artists do uh, have that get them in the first place.
Hmm.
But so some of them don't even really get a choice in a way to get away from the sick industry, whereas some people do seep through the cracks and still have to go through the same ropes and deal with the same struggles. So That's what it is. If you wanna hop in the industry, man, they just it's I can't be doubted at this point. Honestly, to me personally, I don't know about everybody else. Let's see what's going on in the chat here, guys. We've been rambling on, so let's see what's popping with you guys. Um, I gotta visit the Maldives. That'd be nice, man. I would love to do some traveling. And it's not that you can't travel right now. At least from my ends in
It's just a
Canada.
pain in the ass.
But yeah, it's a pain in the butt, man. I'll be honest with you guys. I hate wearing the mask and stuff, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
What? Why do you hate
It's not
that, man? It's for
logical.
your safety.
Yeah, it's not logical, man. And in Canada, actually, where I am in Ontario, in about 2 days from now, they're going to drop the mask mandate. And I can't lie, it's fucking scary how much people are going to continue to wear it, because I've spoken to a lot of people, and honestly, I've heard a lot of people who said like, in high dense areas. I'm like, you drank the Kool-Aid now. Your brain is forever tainted. At the idea that you can get sick without this thing on, even though they've stated on government websites that it won't protect you from it. It's the ultimate sorcery, and people have bought it like full-fledged.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm,
Unfortunately,
I'm imagine like I remember actually really early on seeing this meme. Well, it was, I don't know, whatever, this like meme, and it said like, people aren't when are you going to take off the mask? When the government tells you it's okay? And this was like really early on. This was like straight up like 3 months after they kind of like were heavy on the mask. And I just remember like saying, I'm like, that's so facts, man. Like that's exactly what it is. When are people really going to have more courage to take it off? Well, when they're told they can take it off, which doesn't really require courage, because you're just following the status quo at that point. But also the sad fact that a lot of people are still going to wear it because they're scared. So that clearly tells you how far the mind control, the 56 to be exact, has gotten them in 2 years.
yeah. People. I mean, yeah. Even here in Texas, man. I mean, uh, they've chilled out with the mask mandates. I mean, this is like months ago, but yet people are
Tripping
still
balls.
wearing them, man. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily that people are tripping because they're not really enforcing it at all. And they
Mhm.
haven't been doing so in like months. But the thing is, like, people are still willingly wearing the masks.
Yeah, and again, it's just like they really are convinced that this tool of mitigation is actually beneficial, despite information that says otherwise from credible sources, at least credible to them. But they don't even listen to the sources that they claim are credible. It's very confusing, the type of sorcery. It really is just pure like confirmation bias on their end. Honestly, it's like just whatever they want to hear that will make them feel comfortable. And you know what? Another thing too is, truthfully, guys, the more I think about it every day, the people that are dooming us the most are the ones with the good intentions, and those, I mean, the ones who have like false good intentions in a way.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like
exactly.
they're like, I just want to be safe and protect others. I just don't want to get anybody sick. Like those people are truly like holding us back so fucking hard. It's really rough, because they think that we are, and in reality they are, and that just leaves a divide, and a divide allows for conquering, and that's what's happened. You know, perfect mind games on the masses,
Hmm.
while they sit in this beautiful country with the waters waving along their brick walls and their fancy infrastructure.
Yeah,
Gotta love
exactly.
it. Here's another story though that I saw. Um, Honestly, really only one little tidbit to point out about it. It's actually a basketball one. I'm not really big on the sports, but I just laughed when I saw this, because I was like, "Ha, easy number stuff." Uh, Carl Anthony Towns dedicates 60-point game to late mom. And the first thing that I saw, just because earlier that day I remembered that the date numerology, um, 3 plus 15 plus 20 plus 22, the prime numerology, equals 60. And how many points did he score that day? 60.
Hmm.
Honestly, this stuff is is very much scripted. These sports, this is just what it is, man. They're doing it perfectly. We've covered now several uh, perfectly ironic uh, stories surrounding basketball players' stats and number patterns, like that other guy with all the 222s on February what 2nd, 2022. I
Oh
can't even
yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah.
We've covered it a gazillion times with sports and
Dude, what's
silly
funny
things
is
like
I
this.
think I don't know who it was, man. Somebody else did a decode after that 222 ritual, and another NBA player did the same thing on another date, man. I can't recall who it was, but yeah, man, they're just again the repetitiveness is what it is, man.
Yes, yeah, exactly, man. They're just totally playing with us on that. And I mean, people eat it up every time. They're just like, "Oh my god, that's crazy, dude. What a good guy. Like he did that for his mom, like 60 points. No fucking way. He's a fucking beast on the court, you know." And I'm going to go buy his jersey and get more tickets and make that league richer who sacrifices people. You know, and that's another thing is this guy's fairly young, and in his time in the league, he's had family members pass, so those are always very suspicious things, as we state, in this entertainment business. What comes with these big contracts and this lifestyle unfortunately comes with a lot of loss,
Hmm.
and the spiritual moral importance aspect inside of life.
Yeah, for sure.
Another story that I saw along the way was something that I've actually covered, and it's kind of a follow up story. This is relating to Pfizer and some news that's coming out. Man, my screen record's kind of tripping. It's making me like select a specific tab. It's kind of annoying. I can't like just go tab to tab right now. StreamYard's
Freaking
tripping, but
StreamYard.
anyways, all right. So pharmaceutical technology interesting site.com, they posted this story a while back of Pfizer acquiring Arena Pharmaceuticals for 6.7 billion, and now they actually concluded this acquisition, so now they run it now. And what that means is Pfizer will gain access to Arena's portfolio of various treatment candidates for gastroenterology, dermatology, and cardiology. And cardiology also relating to inflammation. And as it reads here, Arena Pharmaceuticals develops novel therapies to treat various immunoinflammatory ailments. And again, they Pfizer will now have all this information that this company has been working on for several things outside of inflammation, but inflammation being the key focus because of what's happening after people taking the product. We're seeing a lot of stories of inflammation. They're saying that it's rare, but I mean, we're seeing it quite often. And there's a very high number of deaths that we discussed last stream. I think it was about 24,402 deaths. 24, 42, vaccine 42 in
Hmm.
gematria. So that's a lot of deaths. A lot of other vaccines, they stop trials when there's way less deaths than 24,000. They're kind of going off the thing that, well, hey, there's 24,000 deaths, but we distributed like millions and millions of vaccines. So, I mean, the numbers kind of match. And it's
Right.
like, that
They're
doesn't
looking at the
justify that.
ratio. Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't justify that at all, man. 24,000 lives lost due to them thinking they were doing the right thing is not cool.
And again, how do we know that they're not even falsifying the numbers?
And that's the thing, exactly.
It's probably more, probably double. Who knows?
The reality is exactly, unfortunately, we won't get that information, and but we can only speculate that, yeah, it's definitely could be more than what we're seeing. But yeah, man, big news, I think. And again, just to really rear this one in by the numbers and how they do everything by the numbers, from pharmacy to basketball to rappers or whatever. This deal for 6.7 billion was acquired by a man on Pfizer's team of he's the global head of like inflammatory disease, Mike Gladstone, right? And in gematria, his name equals 67, which I've shown before. I'm just gonna quickly show again though. See, it would be quicker if StreamYard wasn't tripping, and I have to fucking click the the damn thing. But anyways, this is the guy who acquired Arena Pharmaceuticals for 6.7 billion. Michael Gladstone, 67, the most pure cipher. 6.7 billion. He's the one. He's the one that did it. So, I mean, everything they do is just perfect. Perfect. They never fail. They got the right guy. To be specific again, yeah, it says his title is Pfizer's Inflammation and Immunology Chief. Oh no, sorry, I read that wrong. Where is it? Yeah, he's whatever. He's head of the immunology department and inflammation.
Right.
You can go check his LinkedIn if you want. You can see it, Michael Gladstone. So yeah, they got that. I don't want to drag that on, but I thought that was interesting. And
Script.
what's up?
Not to cut you off. Remember
No, no,
how
no.
just a few minutes ago we were talking about how today's the kill date?
Yes.
Well, check this out.
Oh snap! What do we got? Breaking news, guys! Boom, boom, boom! Man, I need a soundboard.
It,
Fuck.
it really it really is breaking news, honestly.
I
Because
guys, I gotta get a soundboard so I could just give like pew 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 breaking news, motherfucker, on the kill date.
well, to no surprise, Virginian pilot, reporter, and former CNN news assistant Sierra Jenkins
Oh my
killed in
god!
shooting.
In a shooting,
Yep.
so fucking CNN news assistant. What is she involved?
Oh, and
Where
she
is
was
she?
25, like death. Oh, great.
Oh man, see, again. We said it. We said it. And others in the community said it. This is not about taking credit, guys. We know what's up in this community. We know that there's just patterns that will fulfill themselves. Granted, they have in the past. Anyways,
And
if you
it's a
have more clues,
Saturday. Yeah, I mean, no, I didn't
oh,
decode this. I just saw this live right now. It says Virginian pilot, paper reporter, and former CNN news assistant Sierra Jenkins was among the individuals shot and killed in an early Saturday morning shooting that left one more person dead and three others injured in Norfolk, Virginia. Police said, and she was 25 years old. Jenkins was leaving a downtown Norfolk restaurant. I don't know if that's Chico's or Chicho's Pizza backstage when an argument started outside the establishment, followed by gunfire.
so again, guys, Saturday and shooting in gematria equal 107, 109, both Saturday and shooting. Um, again, today is 19/3, the 19th day, the third month, like 193, the 44th prime, kill, execution, shooting, all 44. Shooting's 44, right? Let me double check.
Yeah, it is.
Shooting, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Shooting is 44. Yep. So shooting, kill, um, both 44 on the perfect day, on a Saturday. Saturn day, the god of death, limitation associated with the poisonous nature of lead. Uh, oh my god. What are bullets made of? Do they have lead in them? Lead in
They
bullets? I
sure
don't know.
do. And script,
Uh,
would you look at her last name, bro?
what's the gematria of her last name? Is that
107 44 28.
guys 107/44 kill shooting
I
uh
mean, get
it's
the fuck out of here, dude.
again we just clockwork, man. Clockwork, that's what you call it. Simple and plain, you call it
Jenkins,
clockwork.
107 44. Shooting, 107 44. I mean, perfect. What is her first name equal? Sierra.
Real time decode.
Well, you
Honestly, there's
still
really
got
nothing
that
to decode. Straight
34
up,
in
it's really
there.
just that. It's the same stuff every time.
She's got that
Shootings are always
34,
happening on
and it's like
Saturdays.
murder.
Always, never fails.
Yeah.
Like, come on, think about it, guys. Like, what is she? Where? What was it again? Where was she? Norfolk,
In
Virginia.
Norfolk,
What?
Virginia.
In
Yeah.
a bar? Where
In
was
a
she?
pizza, it seems like a pizza parlor. And
It's a
Chico's
bar.
Pizza backstage when an argument started outside of the
Think about
establishment,
it.
followed by
We
gunfire.
just heard the story of Young Thug's baby mother in an argument at a bowling alley. A black woman dead over an argument at a family setting restaurant. Now we hear another black woman. 2 days later on the 19th, dying at a similar setting in a very similar manner.
Yeah, the
Um,
pizza parlor too.
Come on, man. Like this stuff is there you go. My man discerning king. That's what it is. Yeah, it's low vibration. Yep, like Neo said too. It's low vibrational news. This stuff is energy harvesting to pull people down, to make them feel sad. and feel as if this world is filled with this type of
I
stuff
mean, just what
happening.
are the odds that she's a news assistant for CNN? I mean,
Exactly, man.
and we're over here
CNN is definitely
exposing how.
due for a
Yeah,
ritual, man.
exactly, man. Oh boy,
CNN.
and it's a Saturday shooting, and it's the kill date, and her name just happens to match up perfectly, and she's 25 years old, just like
Let,
how death equals 25.
let's see something here. The CEO of the CEO of CNN right now is currently a man by the name of Jeff Zucker, and he's currently 56 years old. Which we know what's up, but let's check something here. His birthday is April 9th, and now we have a CNN assistant associated, obviously, with CNN. So let's see how this comes into play.
Wow, you know what else is funny,
Oh,
dude?
dude. Sorry, let me just
What
quickly
did you
say this.
find? No, 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 all good.
So she was shot at 2 a.m. Is that what they said?
Let me see.
I remember something about 2 a.m.
Officers responded to the scene around 2 a.m. and found Jenkins and two men with life-threatening gunshot wounds.
So now she's dead, and that her death comes 22 days before the upcoming 57th birthday of the CEO of CNN, Jeff
Okay,
Zucker.
dude, look at this. Look, look. Okay, so she was 25, right? And it says
Mhm.
one of the men, 25-year-old Devon Harris. So there's two 25-year-olds dead.
Yep, exactly.
Oh man.
There's two CEOs of CEO of Time Warner, who's also associated with CNN. I
But
want to
check
see.
this out, Script. She was killed at the pizza parlor called Chico's, right?
Yeah.
And Chico's has the gematria of 38 and 34.
Oh my God! Speaking of 38, so the other CEO, or at least if you Google the CEO of the chief executive officers at CNN, you get two. Here, let me show my screen real quick,
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
guys. This is just like the way they do this stuff, man. These sick Kabbalistic broadcasting companies
Is it
are.
Chris Litchett or Lickett I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Or is it Jeff
It's Jeff
Zucker?
Zucker and
Okay.
Jason. Sorry, I'm fucking so annoyed with Streamlab right now. It's really slowing me down. But here, uh, here's the two guys, so you guys can
Oh,
see
one
this
of them
here.
is 50.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Jeff Zucker is 56. So
Oh man.
his so from this girl's death, the CNN assistant to Jeff Zucker's upcoming 57th birthday, this guy to the left, is a span of 22 days. The word dead equals 22, died equals 22. And then you have Jason Killer, who is also, at least Google states, is associated with CNN. And his birthday is April 26th. From this CNN assistant's death to his upcoming birthday, which would be his 51st, I'm going to show you guys, is a span of 38 days.
Well, what do you know?
So, I mean, honestly, guys, it's the same stuff every time. It never fails. It never fails. And just while I'm here, just to show the other Jeff Zucker, including end date, span of 22 days, his upcoming 57th birthday. So the two executive officers of CNN perfectly associated with or numerically tied in with the death of a CNN assistant. What was her name again?
Sierra Jenkins.
Sierra Jenkins. Interesting. Well, RIP to her. We don't know if this story is true or not. Unfortunately, we'll most likely never know because the news runs psyops left and right, and it's like the what is that phrase? The boy cried wolf. Like you'll never really know when
The boy
there's
who
a
cried
real
wolf.
story.
Yeah.
And it's like shit, man. Like you lie so much. It's like when should we really people like us who see through this? It's like when should we ever really give you our attention? I don't think so. I think you guys are just full of fuckery, honestly.
So my question is, did this even go down, or is every aspect of this story just completely made up?
Well, here's the thing.
Is
Here's the
there
thing.
even a Sierra Jenkins?
Okay, so this goes back to um well, I mean, it's what I was kind of explaining last week. I didn't really fully explain it. I just kind of showed people where they could learn it, which was the dog Latin thing. The idea of using this debased language of all capital letters. And I mean, a lot of these times, these stories, they're written in a language that isn't really English. So already it's fictitious. And where can we find any sort of validity to this? The way the news presents it numerically has suspicion.
Script. I'm glad you brought that up because especially TMZ. If you look at TMZ,
Everything's all
bro,
capital.
everything is capitalized at TMZ. Every
Exactly.
headline is capitalized. Like,
Makes you
look,
think, man. Is it all fake, man? Exactly, dude.
completely capitalized. Right. The
Exactly.
next article, completely capitalized.
Always like that. Guys, you really got to look
Everything.
into
I mean,
that channel.
everything is capitalized. The headlines are always capitalized on TMZ.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I always found this to be funny. I'm like, why are they capitalizing every letter?
Yeah, and I think honestly it really has something to do with dog Latin and this debased form of language that is illegitimate and the language of the illiterate. And notice,
Even the Grammys. Look at
there you
that.
go. I was just about to say. So you'll see because those things are corporations, and corporations are the
Yep.
dead
Yep.
corpse. And our judicial system from the Western world is the corpus juris, and it's Roman law, and it's very crooked. The Talmud says lie in legal settings. 113 Baba Kama and 113 associated with dishonest mainstream broadcasting, all that. So I mean, it just all of these things. Once you know all these things and you kind of put them together, you can kind of see that there is some sort of mysticism,
It makes a
without
lot
a
of
doubt.
sense, man. I mean, you'd be crazy to not think so.
After, yeah, doing a decent dive, yeah, I think it would be hard to say otherwise. And speaking of more numerical fuckery,
Uh-oh, there's more.
um, there's always more, man. There's always more.
Of
There's only a
course.
few more, but check this out, guys, because I mean, it's just how much more can people see before they realize that I don't think anything they tell us is ever true. I mean, there might be half truths, but it's never really fully true. Now we have Kiev says 222 killed in capital since the start of the war, including 60 civilians. Now, that number 222 right off the bat just it tracked my interest. I was like, it sparked my interest, sorry, because I'm like, what? The first number.
And we've been saying to watch out for the 222 this year.
Exactly, but outside of that, which is very true, yeah, we have. Outside of that, the first thing that I decoded when I looked at this conflict that peaked on February 24th was this. I'll show you. It is the coding between the title of this actual conflict because they're referring to it as the Russian-Ukraine war. That's how they refer to this, which equals
Russian
222.
hyphen Ukraine war.
That's
Okay.
literally how they refer to it. You can check CNN, you can check other articles. That's how they're writing it. And a lot of the times, you could see other places, they report it in their various ways. However, I've seen this quite often. And notice that equals 222. And we know order out of chaos, the Jesuits' motto. And the Jesuits got a lot of plugs and connections to Russia and Ukraine, a lot of Catholic churches out there. Obviously, we know the history of Catherine the Great. Um, Saving the 201 Jesuits, all that. So 222 since the start of the war in Kiev. Um, I mean, again, I don't know. I don't want to downplay, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, guys, remember their goddamn president was an actor, like full out actor. They gave him a whole fucking personality within the span of like 6 years and fucking, made him a whole celebrity. It's just the way they're able to play with us, man, and just throw fucking a person that no one's ever heard of who is probably being trained by the Jesuits in the background the whole time,
No
mingling with
doubt.
the World Economic Forum, etc. All these elite parties. Parties meaning like people parties, not like party jamming. And like how fast they could just build this character's face value up in the public eye. And I mean, I can't buy it. You guys remember what I showed last stream of him dancing in that parody, dancing like a
Oh
woman.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Again, I'm having see stuff like that just really gives me a hard time.
Right. He's a leader of a country. Think about that.
He's the servant of the people. He's the servant of the people. That's what they call it.
It's just, I mean, but what's funny is it's not just in Ukraine where they do shit like that. I mean, just take a look at United States. I mean, we had Donald Trump as a fucking leader of so-called the free world, right? But it's like, yo, this guy was on WrestleMania, had so many quote unquote reality shows. I mean, even just prior to him, you had like Ronald Reagan, who was also an actor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor of California. I mean, yeah, man, they've been doing this. It's just the way that they mock people, and people just like are completely oblivious to it. It's really mind-boggling, dude.
Want to hear some other mockery that came across my radar today? Look at
Let's hear it.
this, man. There's just it never ends, guys. I got tons of fuckery because the media just piles it on. But check this out. The Hill posted today that Black Americans hospitalized at pandemic higher during Omicron wave. Oh my God, it was going for Black people. How convenient the Omicron wave,
Okay,
guys.
this is the
Guys,
ultimate mockery,
this is
dude.
so mockery. So look, quick recap, guys. Omicron dropped on Black Friday. It comes from South Africa. Africa being a black country,
The continent,
or
Africa.
sorry, my apologies, continent. And again, you see how they use this narrative of Black Americans are at a higher rate of being hospitalized during the Omicron wave, the wave that is numerically
You can't
catered to them.
forget. You can't forget when it came. It came on Black Friday.
Yes, exactly, Black Friday. And look at this here. Look at this here. Um, pull this up right quick. Okay, so Omicron or Omicron, whatever, man. I don't even care. Uh, Omicron, slavery, and the N word, all 40.
Wow, that's wow. Would you look at that, man? And this variant is straight from Africa.
Straight from Africa, um, on
Straight out of
Black
Africa.
Friday. And now it's stating, the Hill stating that it's coming for Black Americans more. And, it's got the 42. It's the variant with the 42 stamped on it. No wonder it's coming after the blacks, is what they would say.
Okay, look, this is what I don't understand, right? Like, put aside gematria. Let's say you have no idea what gematria is. You're not even looking into shit like that, right? How does the average Joe just see a news story like, oh, Omicron is hitting the black community more than any other race? And it's like, wait a minute, this variant supposedly came from Africa, the black continent on Black Friday, and now it's affecting the black race more than, I mean,
See,
can't you
that's where it
put these
comes
two
to following
together?
narrative. That's the thing, though. It's exactly, it comes to following narrative. And people in this community, we follow narratives. And people think that we spend our whole lives doing it. No, we just quickly take a glance and we're like, oh, yeah, shit. Okay, Black Friday. And it came from Africa, supposedly. And we know the numbers. Like, we track these things. So we're able to piece these. But people, they see this, they hear just that. They didn't take in like the whole aspect that where it came from, the supposed variant in the first place, and the day. You know what I mean? Like they're not tracking that. You know what they're thinking about? Uh,
Oh
is the
shit, I better
Kim
get my booster.
well, yeah, Pfizer did say, and Moderna said the fourth one is now something that people should be getting. But they're thinking about the Pete Davidson, Kanye shit,
Yeah,
stuff
for
like that
real. Nah,
is what
straight up,
their mind
man.
is
You're
focused on.
right. You're right. That is what people are focused on, man. It's either that or sports or whatever's trending on TMZ. And it's like, who the fuck even cares, man? Why do people care about Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian and Kanye? Who gives a fuck? When there's real issues that are taking place in this world
Look,
that
look,
are,
look. You see on the screen? You
yeah, the
see that?
fucking sheep. Yep,
That
that's
that's
exactly what it
that's
is.
that's a visual representation,
Yep.
and that's no
Hey, you can't
lie.
forget what Germany did when they lined up the fucking sheep in the form of a syringe. I mean,
Yeah,
that's like
exactly.
to me, that's like the mother of all mockeries, man. I mean, that's it doesn't get
That's
any
the tip of
any
the
more
spear.
mocative than that. You're gonna line up sheep in the form of a syringe when people are lining up to go get their vaccine. You know what? YouTube probably want to say, "Oh no, that's medical misinformation," when it's from their fucking article. It's just so pathetic, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with these people, man. I mean,
S-
honestly, can you even feel bad for what's to come for them?
Well, no, not necessarily. It just sucks that
You try to
unfortunately what.
warn them, you're labeled as a conspiracy theorist. You're labeled as a psycho, right? A
Yeah,
domestic terrorist.
yeah,
So
and it
then it's
all
like,
goes.
all right. Cool.
Back to shattering realities, and that's the thing. They want to defend their fictitious, world that they've lived in for so long, that anybody trying to tear down that wall of defense they have, they're like, whoa there. I don't care. I love Disney. I grew up on Disney films. You can't tell me that Walt Disney's a demonic Jesuit Freemason. I don't want to hear it. But
That's exactly what it is. They don't want to hear it.
for the ones who do want to hear it, I'm glad you do. Don't let it consume you, but it's good to know. It's definitely good to be in the know than be blinded. And shout out Shy. She says segregate equals 42 in the most pure cipher, which I actually didn't know that. So
How
that's
fitting.
interesting. That's yeah, very fitting. Actually, something else that I saw that equaled 42. Let me just double check. Yeah. So in light of Pusha T and No Malice losing their father, if you guys recall, in the black community, another way of referring to your father is the slang pops. Hey yo, what's up,
Oh yeah.
pops?
Pops
And
equals 42.
yes, pops equals 42. POPS equals 42 in reverse order. So it's so because youngin equals 42, N word equals 42. So even the slang words match very well with the derogatory terms.
Brothers,
Yes,
42 as well.
brothers, the plural equals 42.
Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love.
Yeah.
Brothers 42. Yep.
So it's like
Boy
it's
42.
man, it's crazy. It's crazy. The 42 list and that theme that it carries is very vicious,
You
and
know,
it's
you're
great
right. I
to see.
never thought about that. Like, no other race really uses the term pops more than
Nah,
African Americans. You don't see no white kid
no.
calling his father, "Hey,
Spanish,
pops."
white, Chinese. I'm sure if they hung around blacks,
Even then, man,
then maybe they might
I
incorporate
I
it, but
can't picture
very
a white boy
unlikely.
calling his dad pops.
Nah, yeah, it's very unlikely. So
Oh man, that'd be fucking hilarious.
I mean, it's like, man, who the fuck makes this?
Yeah,
Because again,
it is black people that say pops. You're right.
yeah, and yeah, again, youngin is
Predominantly blacks is what I'm trying to say. It might be a few races out there, but I think it's safe to say that black people use that term more than other races.
I agree. I agree. I mean, obviously now pops. Just to clarify in the chat, that phrase has been much more popularized. But its initial roots, I think there's no doubt where we heard it from. So yeah, that's stamped with the 42 in line with all the other 42s. And let's see. A couple other things that I want to share with you guys before we wrap up. Uh, which one should I show first? Oh yeah, okay. This one's gonna spark quite an interesting debate. I got a little video to show you guys. Actually, in this community, in this chat room, I don't think it'll spark a debate. I feel like we're kind of all on the same wavelength, especially when it comes to the story I'm about to show you guys. So Neo, I don't know if you heard about this, and the rest of the chat. Guys, let me know if you heard about this. We're gonna watch a short video. 1 minute 30 seconds of fuckery.
Let's get it.
Let's see.
Leah, how did that performance measure up to your expectations coming into this meet tonight?
I didn't have a whole lot of expectations for this meet. I was just happy to be here, trying to race and compete as best as I could.
You've undoubtedly been under the spotlight over the past few months. How have you been dealing with that and reasoning with everything?
I try to ignore it as much as I can. I try to focus on my swimming, what I need to do to get ready for my races, and just try to block out everything else.
What did that race mean to you?
It means the world to be here, be with two of my best friends and teammates, and be able to compete.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you so much.
Against that lane line. She's having a great race here, and she's going to get second. That will give her a lot of confidence. Remember, she's just a freshman.
Leah Thomas pulling away over the final 150 meters. Had to work for it. She was pushed over the first 350 meters. Thomas wins the NCAA championship. Ended up very close for second, with Wyatt taking it ahead of a late charge from Erica Sullivan in third.
All right, all right, all right. So I'm gonna pause it here because that's pretty much what you need to see to get the conversation going. So look at this. William Thomas to the left, ranked 462 during his time in men's swimming. So he said, quick little life hack. I'm going to switch over to Leah Thomas and pull up on first place on these bitch ass niggas and, just swipe the spot. And the world just has to sit here and accept it.
So he competed against females.
Yeah, that's the story, man. He's the first known transgender athlete to win an NCAA division
Wait, how did
championship.
So the NCAA is just cool with that,
That's
or
that's
they
that's
don't really give a
2022
fuck?
for you. Yes,
Well, how
sir.
is that even fair? But okay, I guess again, you can't even say shit anymore without getting criticized. So
Boom.
I,
Yep.
I
Yep.
guess so. I
Black
guess
Migo.
yeah.
You got it. Harvesting a lot of energy towards this agenda of, sexual perversion and gender changing, which will eventually lead to the
Life
transhumanism
hack.
agenda where we don't have no goddamn genders. This is the whole focus. This community, meaning the alphabet community, does not realize that the whole goal is to just eradicate genders. And this whole stupid alphabet shit is just literally a way of getting people to disassociate from identifying from what they truly are, whether it's a male or female.
Yeah, it's
YouTube's gonna
so
hate me for that,
obvious,
but it
man.
is
It's
what it is,
so
man.
fucking obvious, dude. Like, man, dude, you can't even watch any shows or any movies that are newly released without any kind of propaganda of homosexuality. It's so obvious what they're doing, man. It has nothing to do with like rights for gay people. It's obvious that there's a agenda behind all this because the way they're pushing it is just like ridiculous.
Yeah, man, like 462 to first place, and like there was a lot of other, from what I heard, obviously there's very conflicting opinions amongst women, right? Because the reality is the men, if there's men who advocate for this type of lifestyle, no offense, they probably partake in it. Whereas men who don't partake in that lifestyle, I mean, there's some liberal dudes out there who are like, hey, I'm not that, but I support it. But there's a lot that are like, hey, yo, that's not me, and that's not what I rock with, right? So then who is going to otherwise allow this agenda to thrive? Well, women. Women will more likely to befriend, GAY friend or a TRANS friend. And this will allow them to squeeze their way into normal life. And I'm not trying to sit here sound like I'm excluding people from society, but I'm just saying eventually things might get a little too far and you might have William turning into Leah and fucking them up and getting first place. You see what I'm saying? Like, you see how fast it could
And
escalate?
kids are growing up in a society like this, so that's what's sad.
So how does, like, girls are gonna feel when they're like, man, I can never win in
It's just
my
they're
my
obviously
league
they're
now?
just trying to confuse the shit out of the generation
Exactly.
that's coming ahead.
Exactly, man. Confusion. A lot of confusion, man, because confusion leaves people to be vulnerable. And when they're vulnerable, they're easily persuaded, and that says the rest. You can piece together the puzzle from there. Very, very messed up stuff. Yeah, man.
Script. Speaking of mockery, man, just to change the subject off this alphabet group. Have you seen this, man? Here, let me share my screen real
Bye
quick.
bye, Alphabet Group. We're on to a new story.
Yeah, I'm tired of even talking about these people, man.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, guys, but that's what it is. And I'm sorry to any new listeners who are like, oh, man, I was going to like you guys, but you're talking about the alphabet community. Hey, it is what it is, man. Can't please everybody. Ah, yes, I've seen
You
this photo
seen
running
this?
around.
I mean,
Yeah.
come on, bro. So
What's
for
so
those who
suspicious
don't
about it,
know,
though? Can you point out? I don't see anything. I don't see
he said, "What's so
anything odd
suspicious?"
about this.
Well, okay,
It's
these
pretty darn normal
these
to me.
football players from North Texas University, named Gabriel and Grayson Murphy, they signed to UCLA, or they're gonna play for UCLA, and their jerseys are the number 9 and 11, and they're twins, like
So
nine
what's
eleven,
I don't
and
get
they're
it.
twins. But hold on, he said, "I don't get it."
Just Just seems like
Well,
twins, you know.
no, dude, it's not just twins because obviously the twin towers fell on 9/11, and
What?
look, but check this out, bro. They're going to UCLA, right? In Los Angeles. The planes, 3 out of the 4 planes on 9/11, they were en route to LA before they diverted and hit the towers. So
Wait,
it's like
wait, bro. So are you trying to say that these two players that are twins who have the jerseys numbers 9 and 11 who play for UCLA are connected to 9/11?
man, now that you say that, it does seem a little far fetched, doesn't it?
It does, right? Come on, guys. Like, look.
There's
Just,
no
just
way they would plan something like that.
they wouldn't do that to us.
They care
We
about
have
us, right?
good people looking over us. We have
Yeah.
trusty media with
I don't
even
know,
more
man.
trusty government.
These conspiracy theorists just keep getting into my head, man. It's just I need to chill out with
Watching
that.
too much movies.
Yeah, I
And,
think I'm watching too many movies, dude.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't see it, man. 9/11. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
now
see
that
it.
you said it, I don't see it either.
I
I think
just
it's
don't
just a
see it.
total coincidence.
Guys, let me know if you see it in the chat, please. I'm just not seeing it. Someone
Nope.
pointed out. Even better than Neo did. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Bullshit, man. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. No, I exactly. And then they got the Hollywood right behind it just to show you it's all fictional. You know, it's all one big Hollywood script. You know, it's that red string board of things tying to each other. Oh, like,
That's why I'm
this
like,
ties
bro,
to
are
this,
these
this ties
guys
to
even
this.
picking their numbers? Like, you know what I mean?
No, we've seen that. I think we discussed on the NFL. They're one of the sports that don't get to choose their numbers, according to what the leagues say. Like, oh, some other leagues let players choose numbers. I still doubt reality of that, but hey, I'm not in the league, so again, I'm only an outsider looking in. I don't have all the fucking answers, but it's a lot of shady shit like this.
They're
9/11
going to
twins,
UCLA, 9/11, twins, going
planes.
to LA. Planes were originally going to LA. I mean, uh,
Yeah, and
I
and on
don't
top
get,
of that, they're
yeah,
doing the fingers be quiet, trying to tell you to
hush, hush.
shh, be quiet. You're not in the club. You don't know what's happening. Why would they do like, man? Again, because they do this and then it's so obvious that you try to point it out to somebody and it's so fucking obvious that it's too obvious and they can't see it, and then they're like, dude, you're crazy, and it's like, oh my god, you're crazier for not seeing it, but they're like, you're crazier for seeing what you think you see, and I'm like, what? Oh man, it's wild. It's a wild mind fuck they got
That's
going
why.
on.
That's why I really do think, man, these people are under a hypnotic spell, man. That's the only way I can justify this shit. How can you call everything a coincidence? It has to be some form of sorcery that's been put on you, bro. Like some kind of shit. I don't know, man. But it's like there's no way that these people are normal.
Yeah, I mean, again, the concept of like Manchurian, what is it, Manchurian child or something like that, and just
Hmm.
the idea of like born and bred, to
It has
be
to
the
be.
perfect
It has to be something like that, dude.
person to fulfill this role. Yeah, definitely. We got the Ukraine colors. Wow, great point. Yeah. So there's a lot of symbolism. Let's just break down the key symbolism. So we got the 9/11, the twins, the Los Angeles aspect in connection to the planes from 9/11 going to LA, Hollywood, the shh symbolism with the finger over the mouth, and then the Ukraine colors. And then I'm sure the roses also symbolize something that we might be missing, but I think
I think
we see it.
somebody in the chat said Rosicrucians.
Oh my god. Yeah, great point. Great point. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, and the
Yeah,
rose, Denise. Yeah,
yeah.
great point. Great point. And the Rosicrucians, right? Rosicrucian equals 58, like Freemasonry, the Freemasons, corruption, secret society, all those words that I just stated equal 58. And again, they're giving you the shh, be quiet, it's secret, but it's right in front of your face. And then you got Air Jordan sponsored on their jerseys. You gotta have that. Interesting. Yeah, no, I definitely saw that. Came across my radar. A couple of people on Instagram, I saw them post that. So, oh man,
Yeah, it was a Shy Divine that said the Rosicrucians,
Mm.
the rose in the background. Yeah.
great point, Shy. Great point. Always good to have great input from you guys. That's a great point. Yeah, no, I how many more times? So I got two more things to show on my end, and then that's pretty much it on what I got. But I'm gonna for the first thing that I want to show is a video, and it's really short. It's 2 minutes, and it is from a Jesuit himself by the name of James Martin, and he's going to tell us 10 things that you may not know about the Jesuits. So some of these things I already knew, and some of them I didn't. So I think it's interesting to hear these things sometimes. Simple information that shows their influence throughout our world. So let's watch this short video here. Let me know in the comments if the sound's good and stuff.
Hi, I'm Father Jim Martin. I'm a Jesuit priest and author of The Jesuit Guide to Almost Everything. And now here are 10 things that you may not know about the Jesuits. Jesuits invented the trap door. Without their work in theater, where they wrote and directed plays in the 16th and 17th centuries in Europe, modern theater would be a lot different. Jesuits discovered quinine or quinine, called Jesuit bark, in the 17th century, which is still used for anti-malarial medication and is found in tonic water. So without the Jesuits, you wouldn't be enjoying your gin and tonic as much. The dictionaries and lexicons that the Jesuits created during their work with the native peoples in North America in the 17th century were among the earliest tools to help people understand Native Americans. And they're still used today as an essential resource to help us understand those people and that time. The Jesuits located the source of the Blue Nile and charted large stretches of the Amazon and the Mississippi rivers. Jesuits educated in their high schools and colleges people like Descartes, Voltaire, Moliere, James Joyce, Fidel Castro, Alfred Hitchcock, and Bill Clinton. Jesuits championed the Baroque style of architecture, which they used in their churches in the 17th century across Europe. There are 35 craters on the moon named for Jesuit scientists. They founded the city of Sao Paulo, Brazil. They inspired the 1954 film On the Waterfront, based on the groundbreaking labor relations work of the Jesuit John Corridon in New York City. We count among our number 50 saints and dozens of blesseds and venerables. Among them, St. Francis Xavier, the great missionary, St. Robert Bellarmine, the theologian, and St. Isaac Jogues, one of the North American martyrs. To learn more about the traditions, practices, insights, wisdom, and spirituality of the Jesuits, I invite you to check out my book, The Jesuit Guide to Almost Everything. This is Father Jim Martin. God bless you.
Dude, you know what's funny? He says almost everything.
Yeah, exactly. Almost everything. I mean, clearly you guys can see they have a lot of interesting influence around the world, and some of the things that they're credited for. Yeah, great point, Ricky. Yep, the 35 craters named after 35 Jesuits, Catholic 35, Jesuitism 35. Um, There was they also said amongst like around 50 saints renovated, or sorry, how do you say that word? Revervated. I can't even say the word that he said. Renovate? No, how do you say? I don't know, whatever. Anyways, something among 50 saints, something, and the word Jesuits, the plural, equals 50. So I mean, there was a lot of interesting numbers too, even within that. But just again, just to show some of the span of reach of influence that they have. And Chief, you're pointing out something in the chat. Let me see. Excuse me. Jason Killer. So this is back to that CNN story that broke today. Jason Killer is the CEO of Warner Media. Warner Media just merged into Warner Bros. Discovery. John C. Malone, an advance/news house, approved the merger with 43 voting shares. I think you had something earlier on this too. I think Chief was talking about how there was a connection between Jeff Zucker, the other chief executive officer, being associated with like Cuomo, and Cuomo being associated with that whole scandal happening. I don't know if you remember that whole scandal. Yeah, okay, so you remember. So, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of interesting more news around those CEOs. Again, these big media CEOs are really just
I
puppets
think
for the bigger
Amazon
conglomerates,
just
like
bought
Viacom.
MGM. One of the MGM.
I heard about that. Yeah, you're
Did you
right.
hear about that?
Yes, yes, they did. Yes, yes, they did. I heard about that. Let me quickly Google that up
I
again.
think this it's a god damn it, what is it called?
8.5 billion deal to buy MGM movie studio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that's Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
They
that's
make a
that
shit ton of
big.
movies too. I think
That's
the
that's
Double
the
O Seven series is
boom. Exactly.
right.
That's the one with the lion. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
that is. Someone correct us if we're wrong, but
No, it definitely is the one with the line. But yeah, it is the whole 007 franchise too.
let
So
me
essentially Amazon bought the
here. I'll show
yep,
people too. So here it is. Amazon completes 8.5 billion deal to buy MGM Studios. This is pretty fucking big,
it is. It's
because
tremendous.
obviously Amazon Prime has a lot of reach. They're competing with Netflix big time. A lot of people are it's sucking a lot of people's energy throughout their days watching films that are coming from now Amazon's control even further. So we can only imagine what type of propaganda. And guys, for those who don't know, Hollywood, the production code for Hollywood was established by Daniel Lord, SJ, so a Jesuit, Father Daniel Lord, that was his name. And the Hollywood production code in 1930 was written by Catholics. And if you read this book by Gregory Black that talks about Catholics in Hollywood, it talks about how the church wanted to like censor Hollywood a lot and have a lot of control because again, Jesuits created theater. If you look into the history of theater, that's from Athanasius Kircher, who created the magic lantern. So again,
Yes,
Jesuits
sir.
are just all over theater, and they love playing theater, which is why everything's an act to them. The world's a stage. But he talks about how the Catholics saw that they could use film rather to go against the church, but to benefit the church, and that's written in the book. So again, that's a book written by Gregory Black. It's like Catholics in Hollywood or something. But if you search Gregory Black and Catholic, you'll see it. So again, yeah, it just goes to show, like we got the Jesuit puppet Jeff Bezos, uh, buying up one of the biggest movie studios that we're all very familiar with. So that's some interesting news. I'm glad that you brought that up.
Yeah, I mean it's just we don't live in a country, man. We live in a giant corporation, dude.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious that Amazon is trying to be the leader. Well, of course they're just puppets, but again, they're just using Amazon as like the scapegoat to implement their new totalitarian society.
Yeah, technocratic totalitarian society for sure, relying on technology and seeing how they could use it. Again, we saw in Canada with the truckers and the bank accounts being frozen, that story. And then, the push for electric cars, electric money. So whenever you're not a good citizen, they shut you down in any way, shape, or form. So you can't participate in all the societal structures that they created.
I mean, sooner or later, Amazon's just gonna own damn near everything
Yeah.
if they don't already.
Yeah, Amazon, think about how fast they can get shit to your house. If you order from them. So that's actually only going to get quicker with the more they buy more infrastructure to, or land to build
And
more of their
didn't
infrastructure.
they say? Didn't they say? Amazon made the post office. Well, I forgot you're in Canada. Anyways, they say that the U.S. post office they usually never worked on Sundays, but ever since Amazon really took off and its Prime membership started to take off, they started to deliver. The post office started to deliver on Sundays, primarily due to Amazon's shipments. I don't know if that's true or not. I did hear about that. I know that could be false, but don't quote me on that. But if that is the case, the post office is supposed to be a federalized organization, which it really is not. It's completely privatized. But why is Amazon calling the shots for a supposedly federalized company?
Yeah, well, something that Justinian Deception channel that I showed last week does a good point of is really exposing how it's all corporate ties, and again, he really makes that good connection back to the legal side of everything, being under Roman law by corpus juris, corpus like corporation, and or dead entity, and they're the gods of the underworld, and all these corporations with all this power that we give them, essentially, because we are the ones consuming what they make. You know, it's
Yeah,
very interesting stuff.
because Jeff Bezos already stepped down, right?
Oh yeah, that was early 21. There was news
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, from what I remember. Yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah. I gotta
Yeah, he
refresh my
stepped
memory.
down. The new CEO as of July 5th,
Step
2021 is
down.
Andy. Andy
Yes,
H.
yes, yes.
Jassy.
Let's see. Yeah. Just had to refresh my memory there. You're definitely right. Jeff Bezos quits his job at as Amazon CEO to work on his company's biggest problem. It could end up saving the company. Da, 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 da. Yeah. And I see. Yeah, the Andy guy. Got it. Yeah, that's very interesting, man. That's very interesting. Actually, in the news in 2021, June 23rd, Jeff Bezos' dad donated $12 million to the Catholic Church,
Really?
which was, yeah, $12 million to the Catholic Church for them to build schools or whatever they claim they're going to do with the money. But since we're talking about Amazon, I actually have a story highlight on my Instagram that I've kept up for a while. And it's about Amazon. And look at this funky story that came out a while ago. So Amazon unveils plans for eye-catching Helix Tower at new $2.5 billion headquarters. So this was released on or published on the 2nd of February 2021. So Amazon, again, $2.5 billion new headquarters. Now, when I looked into the article, it says that the new proposal includes 2.5 acres of public space, offering art installations, communal grassy areas, and 250 seat amphitheater. So again, 2.5 acres, 250 seat, 2.5 billion. Then it goes on to say that the company predicts that the Arlington County headquarters will eventually host 25,000 employees. 25, again, another 25. If Amazon's Penn Place proposal is approved, the project's second phase would break ground in 2022, with the construction project to be completed by 2025. So, again, a lot of 25s here. Why? Amazon equals 25, so it's so funny how they do all this stuff. I remember this story was really funny to me because I was like, man, that is a lot of fucking, 2.5s right here. And then another story popped up on my radar like that later on. But yeah, it's just, again, more tracking of patterns.
Speaking of stock, right? So before I got into gematria, like this is years ago, right? I was looking at who the top shareholders of these Fortune 500 companies are, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I think a few days ago I seen you post to
BlackRock.
do either BlackRock or Vanguard, right?
Yeah, the
And
two
at
biggest.
the two biggest. And at the time, this was like years ago. I want to say about this was like 5 years ago. Vanguard was damn near owning everything, and at the moment they still are. But it seems like BlackRock is right on their tail. And it's like, have you ever looked into Vanguard Group?
From I have, yeah, I've definitely looked into them. From what I understand, BlackRock is ahead of them, and
Really?
Vanguard is the second. BlackRock hails the highest in terms of their total accumulated wealth.
Okay, so
investments and assets.
Okay, here's the reason why I say that. Here, let me share my screen real quick.
But I actually do have a video that I'm planning on releasing too. There's a lot of strange connections, but by no coincidence, between the Jesuits and Vanguard as well.
Because if you look at Amazon, right, like right now, their top 10 owners of Amazon.com, these are the top 10 shareholders. The Vanguard Group owns 6.21%, so that's like 31. What is that? 31 million shares, and then BlackRock is right underneath that. And maybe BlackRock could possibly be like in real estate instead of.
From what I heard, it was according to Insider. This was
see.
as of pretty recently that they and I'm
It
hearing
seems
as
like there's two BlackRocks because it's like BlackRock Fund Advisories and then BlackRock Investment Management.
Interesting. So I mean, this could just be like, yeah,
But yeah, again,
subsidiaries.
these groups though, Vanguard and BlackRock, they keep popping up over and over, and it seems like right now BlackRock is popping up a lot more than Vanguard is. But I was just always mind blown at how Vanguard damn near owns everything. And it's not just Amazon, even Walmart. Like this is from Walmart. Again, Vanguard and BlackRock, top two.
Yeah, these companies are used as these like hubs to direct money between politics, corporation, and real estate. They have their sort of middle ground between all of it, but also have get the biggest sort of benefit from it.
Yep, it's wow. With Apple, it's a little different. It's Vanguard, Berkshire Hathaway, then BlackRock.
Yeah, for those who didn't get to see the video that I put out, again, it talks a lot about Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, and how he meets up with the Pope, and how he's a board of trustees member of the World Economic Forum. So that's on my channel. It's one of my last recent videos if you want to check it out. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of importance and relevance that this company has, no doubt. And it made me think, actually, I was talking to my cousin actually, and we were talking about the show Mr. Robot. And there's in the show Mr. Robot, there's a company called Evil Corp, or E Corp, sorry, which is basically like the Evil Corp, the Evil Corporation. And it's basically like BlackRock, it's the company that strives to own everything in the world. And again, it's just how fitting that Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, is a board of trustees member with the World Economic Forum. Klaus Schwab, Jesuit educated. And again, you have him merged with this agenda of you'll own nothing and be happy, essentially, the Great Reset.
Dude, you know what's funny about Vanguard? It was established on May 1st.
Oh, dude, trust. What's
What's crazy is I never looked into this shit, especially with the lens of gematria. I need to go back and check all this out.
Oh yeah, man. Like I said, I got a video that I'm going to drop pretty soon. There is a lot, exactly what you said. That's what tipped me off right away.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna. Yeah, man, because I was, like I said, just looking to see who owns a lot of these Fortune 500 companies, and I keep seeing the name Vanguard pop up over and over and over again. And I think BlackRock was also up there too years ago, but it seems like now BlackRock is really trying to, knock Vanguard out the way. They're probably the same company. Who knows? It's probably different names, but it's obvious that there's something going on though.
Yeah, you got Jack Bogle, or John Bogle, but he liked to go by Jack for CEO of Vanguard and the founder. And then you have Larry Fink. Yeah, John C. Bogle, but he liked to go by Jack. Man, the connections between the Jesuits and Vanguard is very interesting as well.
Really? Yeah, I'm looking forward to
very
seeing
interesting
your video on that, man.
Yeah, it's very it's just it's really mind-blowing, man, the power that these people have. And it is overwhelming at times to think about, because it's like, holy fuck, man, these people are just the money that they have and that they
It's
see.
ridiculous, man. They literally own the whole idea of currency.
It just literally makes me think of that Kanye song where he says power, called "No One Man Should Have All That Power." Like, straight up, man. It's just it's
seriously.
crazy. It's too much, bro. No one should have that type of wealth.
And if you're gonna have that much power, why the fuck is the world fucked up then?
Exactly, man. Exactly.
I mean, these people have the capability to end wars, to end hunger, to end famine, everything, but they don't do that though. They create it. That's what they do.
Yeah, it sucks. It just seems like in this world, it truly just seems like for other people, the way they make it seem, with their control and their law and their system in place, if you want to have anything, you gotta, it has to be at the expense of others in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? And hey, going back to that movie that I was talking about, that corny one called American Satan. Something else that happens in that movie is the band starts to influence sort of outcast kids to go fight back against their bullies, but their fans start like literally killing their bullies. And then in the movie, they have like a news broadcast, and like all the news is like, oh my God, this band, the band is literally named American Satan, and American Satan band, this new band is causing so much ruckus. They have their fans killing, their bullies. So, I mean, it's like then in the movie later on they go on to say with their manager, they're like, man, this is kind of like fucked up, like these kids are dying because of us, and like
Mhm.
that's our influence that's causing that. So they talk about that in the movie, and again, it just goes back to the Faustian bargain, like, making bargains with immoral bargainers, and things have to be lost for other things to be gained, like power, riches, etc., fame.
Unfortunately, yes.
But my last thing that I got is a very interesting story. And Neo, is the one that I was showing you about the telescope.
Oh boy, guys, script put me onto something I had no idea even existed. This was years ago, and it blew my mind. It's just a blatant mockery, man.
Yeah, guys, this is some weird stuff, man. But I don't even know if I should say weird. It's pretty typical, I guess, coming from the people we look into. So this is here. Let me pull it up. I should have had it ready. So I'm going to show you guys a video first, and then I'm going to do a little more explaining on it. All right, let's get this video up for you guys, because this was just very strange.
I mean, yeah, this is like probably. It's just it blows my mind how they just get away with shit like this. And again, this is not new. This is from 2015.
So Neo's right. How do they get away with this? Why is the Vatican studying stars above Arizona? February 4th, 2015, posted by BBC News. It's 5 minutes and 47 seconds. Let's give it a watch, and then I'm going to give you some extra context, and then, see what you guys think.
So, Matt, what's the story? So the story is that somebody has told us that the Vatican has priests stationed here in these mountains who are doing research on space and even other inhabitable worlds.
So I'm a Jesuit priest, but here in Tucson we have a...
Did you guys hear it?
The Jesuit priest.
Let's play that back real quick for the people who didn't hear it, and then I'm going to let it continue.
So I'm a Jesuit priest, but here in Tucson we have a research base of the Vatican Observatory.
No, we are not doing anything strange. We're really doing
Paul Garber, SJ, Society of Jesus.
Evangelize.
In an intellectual sense, of course, science and doctrines of the world's organized religions are completely incompatible. They have been for hundreds of years.
I find it very possible to both believe in stars and a creator.
Given the nature of what's required to be part of the Vatican Observatory, you would expect the best scientists would be a part of it, because the best scientists are the general atheists.
In science, what I think is happening is that we are somehow in this very strange dialogue, leading us, inviting us, beckoning us deeper into the mystery.
So the Vatican Observatory has ties that go back several hundreds of years. But why I find this story particularly interesting now is when I heard about it, I called my friend Dave. He's been a science journalist longer than I could possibly remember.
You mentioned this last week. I'd never heard of them before.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I don't want to play too much because it is BBC and they might shaft us. But what I want to point out, actually, Denise actually, is on it. Isn't the name of their telescope Lucifer? So what these guys are working on, and you're close, it's not exactly the telescope that's named Lucifer, but rather an attachment. So these Jesuit scientists in Arizona working on what I hear is people in the comments were saying, and I think the video even goes on to say, like, sacred ground for like native tribes where they're doing their research. But they essentially
What is that? I mean, that's not new.
I mean, exactly, right?
Look at this country.
Yeah, exactly. From Canada to America to elsewhere, the Jesuits have had their fingerprints and done horrible things to the indigenous
Absolutely, man.
communities.
Genocide, dude.
Yeah, it's undoubtable, man. I mean, it's actually fucked up just because in Canada everybody was wearing like orange shirts and saying every child matters because of all the residential school bodies that or bodies found under the residential schools. But now no one talks about it. It's all like, oh man, Ukraine, and see, like people just like whatever the television tells them
That's
to
what I'm
vision,
saying,
they'll
dude.
vision it.
Yep.
You know, if the television tells you to vision
That's what I'm
Ukraine and
saying. These
suffering,
people
then you'll
don't
be
even think
programmed
for
to think like
themselves,
that.
man. They're not thinking for themselves. These people don't think at all. They're just regurgitating what they've been told to say. There's a difference. You know, it's
Yeah,
like I don't even understand why these people have brains. They're not going to use it. Might as well just take it out.
yeah, exactly, man, exactly. So, and there you go. I found the link. I lost it for a sec, but I got it right here. So, just like Denise said, she was close, right? She says, "Isn't the name of the telescope Lucifer? However, it's actually the instrument." So let's read this first paragraph. It goes on to
Oh, this
say,
is hilarious, dude.
right? Like it's just, oh my God. A new instrument with an evil sounding name is helping scientists see, mind you, Jesuit scientists, see how stars are born. Lucifer, which stands for deep breath, large binocular telescope, near infrared utility with camera and integral field unit, extra galactical research. Which is Lucifer. The attachment is a chilled instrument attached to a telescope in Arizona. And yes, it's named for the devil, whose name itself means morning star, but isn't meant to invoke him, according to a spokesman for the University of Arizona.
I mean, this is how you know this story is full of shit. For one,
I
what
know, man.
acronym is that fucking long? Right? That's like what, 7 letters? And
Yeah,
then
no,
another
that-
thing too, it's like if you go back and read it, it's like they've only abbreviated certain, like for example, large binocular telescope, near
Hell.
infrared. How come they didn't abbreviate B or T? It's obvious that they're trying to, you know, get the word Lucifer to pop up.
Exactly. They're like clearly skipping over full words that like
Yeah.
it's not like ands and ofs and words that you can skip over to abbreviate. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's hilarious what they do. And yeah, this is a story that I hadn't heard of. Some of you guys might have heard. Like Denise, she seems to have heard of it. That's awesome. Like it's just like there's so much stuff out there that, and again, Jesuits are behind and they're telling you like I'm a Jesuit scientist, it's just Lucifer, Jesuits, these guys are the demons, man. These guys are truly the demons. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting story to end it off, honestly. And yeah, they said, right, Denise, not meant to invoke him. Like,
and it's like, okay, right? Like let's say, why would you even keep the acronym Lucifer? Wouldn't you, you being
if you
from
know
the
it's-
Vatican, wouldn't you want to change that?
well, remember what we showed last week too. In Rome, if you want like help in the city of Rome, as like, you need like city guide help 24/7, 365, you can call the number 06 06 06.
You gotta be kidding me. Are you
666.
serious?
Yeah, in Rome, you can show that. Yeah, I showed that. I think it was the other stream. I didn't find that. That was actually N Goods. He's a good researcher. I found him through Eric777. He posted that on his YouTube page. Let me pull it up. Rome 060606. So if you just type that in on Google, it'll take you to
So this is for like 24/7 assistance.
Exactly.
Pretty much like the 411.
Yeah,
US.
the number, the most useful ever devised in Rome is simply 060606. And again, yeah, it's basically just, used for information. It's like the local call center in Italy. Yeah. So again, guys, like these guys are the whore of Babylon, man. The Catholic Church the real runners behind the Catholic Church. Not
fuck?
the people who
Oh
were
my
born into
gosh.
being Catholic, but yeah, the higher authorities in that faith are.
You see, it's obvious that they couldn't put it 666 and then it would be too obvious. So that's why they just had to insert the 0 right in front of it.
I mean, at the same time, it's like, oh my god, yeah, because they know they're like, zeros are null, so
Yeah.
it's 666 to
Who
us.
cares?
But,
They're not gonna realize.
yeah, honestly, man, honestly, I
That is crazy, dude. What the fuck? I didn't know that.
it's too good, man. It's too good. They never fail, and we're looking at them right now, man. This is where they at. This is what they've. This is a
Rome.
product of, this is Rome, man. This is 06,
All,
06,
all
06.
roads lead to Rome.
That's what it is, guys. That's what it is.
But again, Rome copies a lot of their shit from civilizations way prior.
Oh
to
yeah.
Rome. So
They
ancient Egypt, Kemet. So
they're rarely creators, rather stealers, and innovate off what they've stolen.
Yeah, that's
and then
sick,
to claim the title after, claim the
Yeah,
victory.
exactly. Claim that they created the shit.
His story, whose story? We'll never know.
Oh, we know whose story it is.
I'm just kidding.
It's very obvious.
Had to be epic.
Very obvious.
We'll never know. Found out on the next episode. Next episode comes, guys. We still don't know. I'm sorry. Come to the 31st episode. No, I'm just kidding. We gave it to you straight on the first episode, man. It's the Jesuits. If you're sticking around, you just still want to learn, man, and we appreciate that, honestly. But yeah, man, that pretty much wraps it up for me. What about you?
Yeah, man. Likewise, it's a great show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And let's just quickly go over the chat. Again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Really appreciate it, like usual. This concludes episode 29. Talked about quite a few things. So, I'm sure next week is going to be fairly interesting as well.
Well,
probably
if they get off this Ukraine-Russia crap. But you know what, Script? I don't think this is going to end anytime soon. What do you think on that? What's your take on how long they're going to stretch this out?
Well, granted, I haven't put too much thought into exactly how long they might stretch that out. I don't know exactly, but I could say that it's definitely a solid narrative to continue running with for a while before they switch off to bigger things. I think what it's allowing them to do is just breeze past pushing greater things like the digital currency agenda, for example.
That's what I'm saying. This is like the halftime show.
Yeah, definitely. That's an interesting way to put it. But it's a precursor, and just allowing them to shove other bigger things that they'll then tell us. I think climate change is still definitely that next hook that they want to run with.
Climate change, and also I think the power grid. I think the power grid is due soon. I don't know when, but it's only a matter of
Cyber Polygon from World Economic Forum. They definitely talked about that. Most definitely. Yeah, you're right. So I don't know exactly how long that's in for, like you said, but I could see them running with it for at least another, I don't even want to put a timestamp because I think it can go honestly quite long. This is a war.
Yeah, exactly.
Supposedly, right?
Exactly.
But the way media is able to shift attention so quickly.
Well, it's a war in the media's eyes.
Exactly, in the media's eyes. So, and I mean, sadly, some brainwashed people's eyes. So, I don't know, man. It's tough. All I know is it's going to be a great excuse. Like I said,
have you seen that video that I think Zach showed this a few days ago? It's like this news reporter. She goes to Ukraine and she's like, hey, she's like interviewing this bystander, and he's like, oh, what country are you from? Is weed legal in your country? Have you seen that? He's not even worried about anything that's going on around him. He's like worried about the cannabis. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious, man. It's like supposedly this is a video from a war zone. Where it's like, where the fuck is the war? This guy's over here worried about cannabis.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show you that, the news can insert stupid side topics just to, show, basically show you that you're not listening. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just testing the waters. They're like, okay, let's just see how dumb they are.
Yeah, will they take this in, or will they still just be
like, wow. That's what I'm saying. These people probably have like a conference every day and just like go over the news that they presented and be like, wow, they even fell for this? These
Yeah, I could
fucking
only
idiots.
imagine the shit that there's too
At
much
some
stuff
point,
they
though,
have
they
to do.
gotta say, okay, like we kind of pushed this a little too far. These guys are getting dumber and dumber, or probably not. Probably not.
Debatable. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean the sheep thing that they did to us again.
Yeah, I think that was again the mother of all mockery, in my opinion, dude. I mean, how can it get?
Top tier, man. Top tier.
I
Top
don't get
tier.
how you could beat that.
Well, that's episode 29, guys. Again, I appreciate everybody, and episode 30 coming to you soon. Hopefully to see everybody with us then. Neil, it's been real. It's been dope.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, man.
Definitely, brother. Till next time. And guys, peace and love. Stay healthy. Stay happy. Just try to, avoid being drained from all the fuckery that we see along the way. But yeah, man, stay up, everybody.
Yep. And again, follow Script on his social media, Instagram. I'm on Twitter, NeoTheHacker59, and Seethruthescript on Instagram. So
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. All right, guys. And yeah, we'll see you guys episode 30.
All right. Peace.
Peace.